everybody.
Look, bro, I can't tell you how to live your life, but why are you wearing a sweater? It's hot outside, my boy.
You don't tell me to wear. I wear what I want to wear. I don't know where you are. I can just hear you. I don't. Be quiet. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That intro was kind of cringy. I know. Look, someone's just freaking out at me for my sweaters just because it don't matter. Okay, anyways, let's get into the video. So basically, the Detroit Lions, as we know, lost to the Packers, and I want to move on now. Okay, I got my 2 videos out. I'm good. The energy has been released. Obviously, I'll talk amongst people like, oh, I'm mad. You know, I'm good though. Okay, let's move on. Vikings are up next. Okay, we play them Sunday. We currently sit at 2-2-1, which isn't too bad. I mean, considering all the things that have happened, that's not too bad. Looking at our schedule coming into this season, 500 is not bad, at least at this point, okay? And that's honestly not a bad place to be when you look at who we have upcoming, okay? We should definitely get on a roll here. Could we possibly run the table? I don't think so. I'm not going to go that far with it, but that's super optimistic, okay? I'm not even going to go that far yet, but I think there's a really good chance that maybe we bring in that quote that Aaron Rodgers said when he said, relax, you know, the guy that cheated. We'll bring in that quote for the Detroit Lions, and that's what we got to say right now because I think the Lions have a big opportunity, okay? I want to look at the positives here. We sit at 2-2-1, and really, we only have 2 losses. Obviously, that's kind of obvious. And our 2 losses have came to the Packers by a point, which I'm not going to get into it. We lost by a point. And the Chiefs games by 4. That's the only games we lost. Now, the tie came in the first week of the season. Yes, it was a tie to the Cardinals. It was also the first week of the season, so I'm not going to put too much into that one. But other than those, we've really lost for a combined 5 points, right? That's it. That's all. And all of our games have been close up to this point. So that means we're competing. At least we're not going to get blown out. Like I said, if this was like, if we had a result like the Jets game, I'd be kind of worried. Like, okay, wait a minute. We got beat by like 30 plus. That's not good. Even 20 plus. We haven't even got beat by double digits. So I'm happy right now with where we're at. We are in a position where we can start getting things clicking though. We have another great opportunity. I was talking about Lions had an opportunity right here to show us what they were about. And they showed me a lot of good things. I don't know about you guys, they showed me a lot of good things. The rest of our schedule is that next up we play Minnesota Vikings, which if we can win this game, it will completely change the whole division in 1 week just like that. Because automatically we'll pass the Vikings. We'll drop the Vikings to 3 losses where we only have 2. We'll hold the tiebreaker for now. We would have the same amount of losses as the Bears depending on what they do. And maybe the Packers lose. So maybe the Packers lose and maybe they have 2 losses and then we have the same amount of losses and we play them at the end of the season. So that could all happen in 1 week. It could flip very quickly. That's why we can't dwell on it. I mean, as fans, we can. We're fans, right? We're not the players. We don't necessarily have to move on. You don't have to if you don't want to. I'm going to do it though. So I moved on. This is a very big game. Then we play the Giants, okay? We should beat the Giants. If we lose to the Giants, I don't know what to say, y'all. I'm not going to say the season's over because that's just not how I look at things. But that can't happen. Even if we lose the Vikings, we have to beat the Giants. But if we beat the Vikings, I think we'll definitely beat the Giants, right? We should beat the Giants. And then we play on the road versus the Raiders, who are like this. The Raiders had beat the Bears, but they're also the Raiders, and they haven't, you know, they're not scary. They're Derek Carr, they're John Gruden. It's not something we're worried about. We should win that game as well, being a playoff team, in my opinion, okay? In my opinion, I think we should win that game. And we should really get onto a roll here. I mean, when we look at our schedule, no game is going to be as tough as any of the ones that we face, right? Because you got to look. Then we have the Raiders. After the Raiders, it's the Bears on the road. That one may be tough because it's a divisional opponent, but it should be close. All division games are going to be close. Then the Cowboys. And the Cowboys game is at home. Now, I think you initially want to think, okay, Cowboys, that's not good. We might lose the Cowboys. I'm not worried about the Cowboys. If you guys have been paying attention to the Cowboys, they haven't beat like any good teams this year, okay? They've been pretty bad. The Cowboys just lost to the Jets. So if that tells you anything, there you go. Then we play the Redskins, which they're the Redskins, okay? They won 1 game, and that was over the Miami Dolphins because they went for 2. That doesn't even count as a win in my book. You can count it, whatever. Then we play a home versus the Bears. So the divisional games are going to be huge because then we have the Vikings on the road, but then the Buccaneers. We should win the Buccaneers game. The Broncos. We definitely should win the Broncos game. The Buccaneers could be tough because they've been a team that out of nowhere is really good, and then they're just terrible the next week. So they could be a challenge, but we are at home, so that's good. But the Broncos, if we lose to the Broncos, y'all, that's a problem. There are so many games on here that we should win, and then the Packers to finish it off, which could be playing for the division. If we look at this in the positive mindset, which we should, other than divisional games, if you look outside the divisional games, we should win all of our outside division games. We should beat the Raiders, beat the Giants, we should beat the Redskins, we should beat the Buccaneers, and we should beat the Broncos. And I think the Lions can beat the teams that they're supposed to beat. And if that happens, that's 5 wins. That's 5 more wins, and that puts you at 7. And obviously, if you lose every game in your division, you're not going to make the playoffs anyways, so that can't happen. Then you just have to split, really. If you can get 3 wins out of your division, you got 10 right there, and that may get you a playoff spot. I don't know. It depends how it plays out. Right now, all the teams are really good in the North. But either way, I mean, if we look at this, we still have a great opportunity ahead of us. And even though right now the records may be like, okay, we're in last, it could switch in one week. I mean, we could be in second. 1 week, we can be in second. Guaranteed third if we get a win. Okay, this will switch very fast if the Detroit Lions can find a way to get a win versus Minnesota Vikings. And they have a lot of opportunities if they can do that, because then you have a very good opportunity to win your next 2. You have a very good opportunity. If you can prove that you can beat the Vikings, that you can beat the Giants and then the Raiders, okay? They're fine. I mean, they're in a position with their schedule. We knew this. It starts off really tough. Can they get through it? Can they survive? Some people are saying that way they can finish, right? And I think they survived. I say 500 is surviving, right? That's not great. It's not bad. You're getting through. So you get by. Now you got to turn it on. I'm not going to say they're going to run the table. Okay, I'm not going to go that extreme. But there's an opportunity they can win a lot of these final games. And I know there's a lot of things that are negative to look at right now. The running game has not been very good, and we haven't been very good stopping the run. Which I'm not too worried about the yards necessarily, because we have played pretty great on defense. If I'm being honest, we've been opportunistic. We've been forcing turnovers. That's good. And even though we've given up rushing yards, it's not like we've been getting blown out in time of possession. And it's not like they went down and scored every time. We're still getting stops when we need them most. That's the kind of team that Matt Patricia is. He's always been like that. With the Patriots, he's always been bend, don't break kind of coach. So that's kind of what's expected. So I'm not too worried about that. The offense side of things, though, I really want to get that run game going, because if Darrell Bevell is going to feature that and he wants that running game to be a main part of his offense, it must get going. Otherwise, you got to start focusing more on Matthew Stafford, the guy that's your quarterback, the star quarterback that you have. They'll have to figure that out. And I think, again, another very good test will come against the Minnesota Vikings. They have a good defensive line, and we'll learn a lot. If we get stuffed again, okay, there's a problem. We got to work some things out. If we can get it going, okay, now I'm not really sure what we're doing because we couldn't get it going versus the Packers. Either way, I think we're in a good position right now. I'm not going to overreact. I think we're all right. I got my videos out of the way about the Packers game. Not even stressing about it anyways. Not even stressing about it anymore. Detroit Lions versus refs forever, but I'm not even stressing about it anymore, because look, we have a great opportunity, and there's no reason we can't get on a big run. There's no reason, if this team is a legitimate playoff team, they can't fly through here with 7, 8 more wins. I mean, there's no reason they can't get 8 more wins out of this schedule. So that is just my thoughts really quickly. I want to hear your thoughts, okay? Let's get the positive vibe going. Let's get the positive train riding again. Choo-choo. I don't know why I did that. Anyways, I appreciate y'all for stopping in for another video. And I want to hear your comments below. Thank you, Prop, for watching. On in Minnesota. Let's get it. Thank you, Prop, for watching, and I'm out.